Welcome to our sharing. My name is Sister Wandia, Franciscan Missionary Sisters for Africa. And as Franciscan Missionary Sisters for Africa, our charism is we are entrusted by Mother Kevin. We are women of faith, consecrated to God to live in a community of love, joy, and simplicity through our prophetic witness in our vowed lives, so that together we can glow in the fullness of the gospel. Our mission is based on John 10:10, that is life in the fullness. We give life in the fullness to all, and especially to the poor and the marginalized in the society. Our Franciscan Mission Sisters of Africa Ministries, we abbreviate it as FMSA. We deal with health, we deal with education, youth ministry, pastoral ministry, religious education, retreats, seminars to priests and to the laity. We also have a ministry of emergency response, especially where there was war. And also we have women empowerment. Youth activities in our ministries, we work in the parishes, we have schools and youth center in different countries. Different activities are carried out that help the youth in physical health, emotional health, spiritual development, and psychosocial support. We do it in a holistic approach for integral human development. In our youth ministries, around 6,171 youth members are served in our ministry, according to the last data we collected. Let me introduce you to my partner ministry. It's out of the school youth program, which is affiliated to the Hands of Care and Hope, and it's based in Kariobangi. Out of school youth program, it's in a center called Kevina Center. It has a mission to empower disadvantaged youth through life skills, culture formation, and vocation trainings, so that they can get good job and be stable and get employment and come out from the cycle of chronic poverty. The vision of the out of school youth program is healthier youth who are responsible or committed citizens. The background of the program. Out of the school youth program is within the Social Vicinity Services Department of Hands of Care and Hope. It is in Holy Trinity Parish, Kariobangi North, Nairobi County. About 200 and 210 youth are enrolled every year for the program. The center is founded by the Franciscan Mission Sisters for Africa in order to reach out to vulnerable, disadvantaged youth within the slums area of Kologocho, Huruma, Mathare, and Madoya, and Huruma North. The targeted beneficiaries are disadvantaged youth, many who are school dropouts due to poverty, those who have obtained below average grades, or those on the streets and they are in need of rehabilitation. The program activities carried out in Out of Youth Program Center. Once the youth are brought or they are being taken by the social workers, they undergo different programs. And one is motivation. They are being motivated to be who they are. Another one is time management, how to manage the time, because most of the time they are idle. Self-awareness, to know whom they are. About relationships, teamwork, bullying, domestic violence, which they have experienced in the slum. They also have a program of behavior change process, which involve 3 stages: exploring life, that's telling their stories. Then they come to know the new picture, which is to have an alternative behavior than what they have been having, and then look for an action on what to be done. The other activities that is carried out is conflict management, since where they are deciding in the slums conflicts every day. They also learn about civil and human rights, advocacy and lobbying, human trafficking, drug and substance abuse, environmental, and being responsible. They also learn more things like values, sexuality, saving and budgeting, goal setting and interviews, commitment, exploring possible technical skills. The strength of the youth center out of school. There is construction of the youth center where they gather and have their programs every day. Still in the youth center, there is emergency response in time of crisis, especially Corona. Another success is training of 200 youth done every year successfully. There is counseling on behavior change. There is rehabilitation and capacity building that go on. Creation of employment through life skills in technical training. There is 107 youth enrolled and trained for technical skills in 2020. Written successful case studies of 5 youth and their story of transformation. There's another successful activity or program that goes on is successful youth with permanent jobs are good role models who encourage and give talks or advice. Those who have successfully taken out the course, they become good role model to the society and they encourage the others. 50 youth trained for first aid kit are able to offer services in the community. Faith developed programs are also carried out in the youth center. 29 youth baptized and catechized. They also conduct retreats and other faith programs. 55 parents or guardians of the youth who are from the slums are empowered for microfinance and performing well. Because of the situation of the slum, the family situation is not good. Always there is domestic violence in the family. And that's why the center empower the parents to make sure that they bring a holistic approach. In the center, there are committed staff, which they have policies in place that help to put everything in place. There are so many challenges and opportunities that affect or face the youth center. That is lack of enough resources and enough staff to carry out programs. And also another challenge is high level of poverty in the slums, and many youth are idle. The program can accommodate only 200. There are so many youth in the slum. As you said earlier, there are 4 slums that we normally check the youth from, and the center can accommodate only 200. Another challenge is poor environment and living standards due to economic crisis. Another challenge is poor parenting and lack of role models. As you know, in the slums, there is poor parenting. There is no role models. There is also high dependency from outside or for funds and other support. Many school dropouts and staff capacity to reach them is limited. As I've said earlier that our youth program, the staffs are limited. There are so many youth that drop out from school, but we are not able to bring them to the center because of the limitation of the resources and also the space. Lack of enough collaboration and support locally and with other stakeholders. Normally, the people around the slums, they don't have a way of life. So there is no good collaboration within them and the staff. Weak structures to lobby for the poor, especially in government institutions. As we know that the government know that the slums are not place to stay. So there is weak structure to lobby for the poor in the government institutions. There is also poor infrastructure in the slums that we are not able to carry out the services needed. and also lack of enough materials to carry out activities, especially the technology. The extension of services to the slum is limited. We'd like to go to the slum and present something, but because of lack of materials or technology, we are limited. Another thing is increasing number of youth wishing to register for the program and our limited resources. There is also increased inflation. As we know, our currency keep on going up and down. Also, there is efforts to convince the local authorities and business to help. Because of our limited staff, the effort to convince the local authorities is also limited. If the staff are many, it would be good to, or like when we have the social workers, they can be able to reach them, and we have many youth. Negative misconception from the wider community that they say that youth from the slum, young people from the slum, from the families that comes from the slum, they cannot do well. But while they are empowered, they can do better and they can do well. We have seen it in the out-of-school program center. Also, there is unsafe environment, which is overcrowded with a high population in the slums, with also insecurity, poor hygiene and sanitation, and poor infrastructure with a high rate of immorality. There is also an issue of single parenthood. Many parents are single in the slums. There is alcoholism, which doesn't give a good role model. Also, like the outbreak of COVID-19, that collapsed everything, even to the small micro business that the parents were helped to do, and it paralyzed the economy. And also the multicultural, with many subsectors which bring divisions. Sometimes in the slums, there are different tribes and they stay in their own ways of doing things. They are not able to come together. Those are the challenges that we got. Now that we engage in a consultation process, and it was through dialogue, through communication. And we came to an effective planning for human resource management. In our dialogue, we had meetings, 2 to 3 meetings through reflections on SWOT analysis process, which we engaging and understanding about the strength, the weakness, opportunities, and threats of the center. We also had to realize and to know the clarity of mission and vision plus long-term goals, that when the mission is clear, we are able to have our goals set and we are able to meet them. Also in our consultation process that we were involved was it is how to monitor and to evaluate and the way forward. We managed to have a strategic plan for 2-3 years. Lesson learned and advice to our youth center program. There is a saying that says that it takes a village to raise a child and it's everybody's business. Sometimes when the youth are in the slum, it is nobody's business. But we are reminded that it is everybody's business. So the consultation that we engaged in through dialogue with the SWOT analysis, it opened a lot of emerging issues that came up for improvement. And as I said earlier, it is the clarity of mission of the program, the vision where we want to be, the core values in order to bring a holistic approach. And also we learned that resources are not only money. There are so many ways that we can use the available resources in order to help the youth to be whom they are. Another thing is on how we can help on community-based approach to enable full participation in the society so that together we can be able to own everything and to know that all is for us. In our Christus Vivid, that is extortion of Pope Francis on the year of youth, something he explained and said, Christ is alive in you or in me, and we are the now of God. In our world today, there is social enmity and it is very destructive. It destroys families, countries, and the whole world. And that's how it has destroyed our youth in the slum area that we work with. And their relationship is destroyed, and we say that relationship matters in our social cultural context, it should not be ignored. We realize that healing is a process, it's not a project. Sometimes when we deal with the youth, those who are traumatized, it come to an idea it is all about money or a project. And in our continued learning, we realize that healing is a process, it's not a project. It's neither a soft option, because unhealed trauma is the cycle of violence. Our belief and traditions are part of our history. We have to move with them. In engaging in any ministry, still an advice, it is good to pause and reflect on the integration of the Catholic social teachings, congregation charism, mission, and the UN Sustainable Development Goals. And this one will help us to understand where these young people who are in the cycle of trauma, to identify the root causes and see where we can start. I would like to go to Masalo, who states how to go public with your faith together as pilgrims by looking into 4 steps, our own experience in life, like those youth in the slums. Then my social analysis in the relationship to the people that I'm dealing with. Then after that, I have a theological reflection that will help me to have a pastoral planning of the work that I want to do. Finally, I would like to share some few photos of baptism and graduation out of the Youth Center program. You can see here there is the baptism, part of the holistic approach, the graduation, and other technical skills that we do after they finish the program. They are being connected with some of the government technical schools so that they can be able to attain a certificate and can be able to help them, to empower them, and they get good jobs. They are proud here, enjoying and doing. There is the bakery, there is the hairdressing, crabbing, first aid. All these things are technical skills that are being affiliated in out-of-school program. Thank you very much. God bless you.